Watch up, welcome back to Delboy's Garage. This is part 3, Project Triumph. Now we're going to get boogieing with these today. I'm going to try and make a little tube, a little curved tube. I've got 3 of these per silencer, so I can put one in the bike, one in the silencer, and one of them goes in between. Now they're not any given size, they're kind of universal. They come with this gappage, which you just weld up if you're not going to use, I guess. Alright, stick around, stay tuned. Let's see what happens. So we're going to get, first job is grind all these little nubs off there, get rid of them because they're for the purpose of when you put it down into there, they stop it going all the way in. So we'll grind, I'm not going to use them, so we're going to grind them off, grind off this plating and then start measuring them up. Right, first thing, this is a piece of Renthal handlebar from long ago. It's going to act as a weld shield because what I want to do first of all, these are obviously slotted so that they squeeze and fit in, and I want to fit them so like that they're a snug fit when they come to be fitted, and then I can just put the clamp over the silencer itself and it will clamp down and be an absolutely tight fit. I don't want any waggling about. So to get that, all I've got to do is bridge across this gap with a couple of decent tacks and use that. So all I've done is I've brought it out so it's a bit bigger than the hole, squeeze it in so it's a nice interference fit, then put it over there, press the pipe on something solid, and then I can weld across that. It will bridge a little tack in there, hopefully, and that should set the size on that one piece, which gets us kicked off. There you go. Pick it up with there you go. That's popped a tack across there. And it's nicely curved on the inside so it won't interrupt gas flow, and that's how I shall do the whole lot all the way down that gap when the time comes. But that's just held that in size, so that's now a specific tube size. I've just got to do the other one for the bike. Alright, and that's the size for the front piece, just nice slidey interference fit. There we are, and it's just that, like a tack. I'll show you, let's see what happens. Let's see if that fits. There we are, nice fit. Now all I've done, once I've welded that to the other piece and they're both solid, then I can just fill up that gap completely all the way along with weld. And as I said just now, if you look inside, you get a nice flat, where are we? There we are. You get a nice flat finish, so it's not going to be blobby inside and interfere with the gas flow. Right, okay, let's make that a little bit stronger so it doesn't break. Now incidentally, that's what happens to the aluminum, it just bounces off it. So if you need to weld up a hole, plug weld, that's how you do it. Bit of non-ferrous metal behind, copper, Ali, whatever. Okay, now we'll weld them together. Right, now I know that that fits the bike and that fits the silencer. They have got some play, so that is fantastically useful because I can mount them with this play, obviously like that. All I've got to do is very slightly over one of them, just enough on one side and that will give me the curve there. So that will give me that 30-degree curve that I need. All I've got to do is tack it in a couple of places and then just tack round so it doesn't move. And it's just a case of, like all these things, test fitting it, do a little tack, do a little test fit, and so on until it's finished, till it works. That's better. Just get as much curvature in it as I can. There we go. Just a little tack. On the other side. Too long. This is really as much an exercise for myself, just for me, in welding exhaust tubes as anything else, because I want to make an exhaust for the Bandit eventually, and if I can practice on this, a couple of little tubes, and get them right, get the gas tight seal, then it's like I say, it's all good practice. Right, now needs to be seen. Let's grab you. Right. Okay, there it is. Just tacked for now. Now the idea is that that will go. There it is. That fits with a lovely slick cheese knife fit. And once I've ground this tack out of the way and all the other welds, it will slip right in. And then you can see that changes direction quite a lot. There we are. So that gives me quite a curve from one to the other. All I've got to do is weld all the gaps up now and then grind it all back, and that should fit straight on. And obviously on the back here, that will just pick up that mount point there. So far, so good. Neatly on. There we are. Now with a little bit more grinding on there, that will go further on, and then it sits at the back at the right sort of angle. I just don't want to. No, I'm faffing around with this bubble wrap on, but I don't want to scratch it. There we are. So now Just got to weld up these slots and then do a final grind off, make it nice and neat. Okay. Right. Okay. And here we are. One crooked pipe. What size are we? Which is 40. Right, it goes inside in both sets, female. So we've got an OD on that of 44 one side and 40 on the other side, and I reckon about 30-degree bend. Let's give it a final test fit. Let's go and have a look. Now this is just the first one. There we are. Now the great thing with that is whatever angle I can angle the pipe up or down by rotating that, but it will be as much as possible straight back, straight in line with the pipes. And then just going to make sure it goes forward of these little gaps, which there it does. That's a nice fit. Back that off a bit. There it is. And there we are. One little leak pipe. Okay, let's make another one. Right. Right. That's a nice weld. That is a very nice weld. So is that. Right, there we are, that's enough of that. That's a sum total of 3 hours just to make those two. But they're a pretty cool piece of kit. If you look, you got 40mm one, 44mm one side, 40mm the other side. So you couldn't have bought those. There's no way you could have bought those pipes. I suppose you could have had them made, but then I just made them. Right, they go in there. Quite a nice little snug fit. And I've done them with these completely undone. So that's a nice slide fit. As soon as there's a wipe of silicone around the outside of that, pop it on and then put that perfect circular clamp in nice and tight. They'll seal, perfect gas tight seal. And as you can see from the angle of those, from over the top, both of those now from there, they follow in nicely to pick up the back of the bike and stick those pipes nicely where they need to be. Well, there's one of the silencers, just check the top one. Now the fit on the pipe itself, I've made it deliberately tight because you're going to get air flowing this way when you ride along, and any air ingressing this joint will cause it to pop and bang. And I like that, that's okay, but too much, it just sounds like your exhaust is defective. So that's a nice snug fit, so much it actually holds them without bolting it on. And once they're in place, there we are, nice and far home, clamped in place like that, jobs are good. There we are. The bottom one will go in, and I'm trying to get them so they're about 10mm apart at the back, and then bolt them on the original bracket. This original bracket needs a little bit of adapting, cutting around. It's 3mm solid steel, and that's a great piece of kit. I'm going to be able to use that and cut off any excess that's in the way, and then just repaint it when it's ready, matte black like the rest of the exhaust. All this is going to go matte black. Going to use Sperex VHT manifold paint, which is exactly the same finish as that, and it'll look good all the way through. Wrapping it, decided not to. I know wrapping is cool. Wrapping is for bobbers, Harleys, it works very well on those. It's part of that genre, but on this, it's not going to work. I'm actually going to paint the whole thing Sperex matte black. I'm just going to put the single heat shield. It's just a little single one on the outside, so it's set fire to my jeans. Over, and at the other side of it, is I will need to remap this, but I can download that map from a local supplier, and I can do it myself. It's not difficult. All the dealers said they did it for Freeman's, so it don't really matter. There we are. That's it. That's those ready to go. All I've got to do now is a couple of little, just in these, there's a couple of little pinholes in them. I've air tested them, just sort of block off one end, blow in the other, and you find that they tend to be a little bit perforated here and there where the welds are not quite gas tight. So I just got to tack those up. That's just another little job. I won't bother filming that. And then they'll get painted matte black, exactly the same as the pipes. So that was it, pretty much really. Now we've got them able to be fitted. Next one, join us for part 4. We're just going to do the bracket so I can cut, manipulate and put that into place so that they slip nicely onto the bracket and they bolt on. We've got these sort of classic fit the bolt in there, thingy bob type deal, and that will work fine. Probably put 2 bolts in each one so that effectively they're held in 2 places. Just makes them nice and strong. It's a twins vibrate, etc., that sort of thing. But there we are, that's it. That's part 3. Fabricated, 2 little link pipes, job done. Not difficult. You could have bought them, but I don't know where from, and I much more enjoyed making them. So take it easy, ride safe, join us for the next one. Thanks for all the kind comments, always appreciate it. Winter's coming, be careful. See you for the next one.